My name is Jack Potter, and you might think, and you're listening to me, that an old guy of 80 or so wouldn't know much about show business, but I have to tell you that since 1954 I've been the only performer that I've ever heard of that's never been out of work, and yet you've never heard of me. I've travelled extensively. I'm the first and only person who's ever taken a truck, an old truck, loaded it up with 2 ton of equipment, and with my family. We went around Australia from the tip of Cape York right through to the bottom of Western Australia, and we performed thousands of times. No government subsidy, no handouts, no help at all. Completely independent, and I've had the most extraordinary life. So if you ever want to talk to anybody that has had a life full of entertainment, certainly I'd like to put myself forward and say, I'm the man. I can help anybody that wants to make a road into show business, but I want to warn you very seriously that the entertainment game is not what you imagine. You know, the reason people say entertainment, oh, that must be a very hard way to earn a living. I say, why? And they say, well, making people laugh. I say, oh, that's nothing. Making people laugh is not a problem. The entertainment game is completely different from what you imagine it is. I mean, why do you think all the actors and the performers walk down the red carpet to face the camera? Well, I'll tell you. They do it to hide the knives sticking out of their back. It's not a pretty business. You think because you're golden glowing, you're bright, you're perfect, you've got a nice personality, you've got good looks, or someone you know wants to go into the entertainment game and he's got all the qualities that would make for a great star. The more he's got, the more vulnerable he is to attack by elements in the entertainment game, which we hear about now in Hollywood and in politics and the church. There are elements that we should be very careful of, and they are rampant in the entertainment game, and they are militant against the safety and the well-being of the very young people who have the most to offer. So I can tell you from personal experience, I was stalked for 30 years or more, and you would wonder why. Well, now I'm 80, but when I was 27 I was a cutting blade, and I had a lot of problems, and a lot of other people like me had the same problems dealing with people who had evil intent. Show business is not all smiles, not all roses, not all gloss and glow. It is a completely depraved and very unhealthy environment to put any young person into. And I'm warning you now, if you have anybody that you care about and they want to go into show business, be warned. Be warned. And I've written a book, a whole book about my life, how I survived, what I needed to do to escape the clutches of people that had no intention of doing anything to help me and a great deal to help themselves. There are some very bad people, and a lot of them are in show business. Be warned. Nobody will tell you, because they all make it seem as though it's all sunshine, all light, all happy days. No, that's a complete falsity. And I'm speaking now because I can. Because I have no one to whom I have to answer that will tell me, you can't say that. I can say that, and I do say that. I have travelled the length and breadth of Australia in an old truck doing a beautiful series of plays with my wife and child. And we worked from 1975 till 1992. And before that, I performed in a very big show called Jesus Christ Superstar. And I played King Herod. Now that's a most spectacular part. Spectacular. But I worked against the most seditious and angry and malevolent forces to perform. And yet everybody wanted my role, but nobody could perform it. But eventually I gave up on that, and I went bush and travelled around. I used an old truck with a frame on it that carried a stage setting that I designed. I packed my wife and my little boy into the truck and we went bush. And we had the most wonderful life, extraordinarily hard, fantastically tough. But we learned how to promote. And it doesn't matter who you are or how you want to perform or what field of entertainment you're in, you have to know how to promote yourself. And you can't rely on an agent and you can't rely on a manager. That's the worst thing you can possibly do, because once you do put yourself at their disposal, they will very much use the fact that you are at their disposal. But if you look closely, you will see plenty of examples of children, young people being taken advantage of, and the system is there because it is when they are young, they are enticed to take it up as a career because they see only the outward and visible sign. What is happening inside the business is totally corrupt, and I can promise you that in the book which I've written, I explain all that goes on that you need to know and how I dealt with it. So if you ever want to know how to do it, find me. My telephone number, my email address, it's all on my websites. Jack Potter. Very easy to find, very easy name to find, and you can't go wrong. And if you want to go into show business, don't do it in the city, do it in the country.